What's going on, everybody? What's up? Just got Don't Ride Dirty in the house. Cordrick, Cordrick, Cordrick Ashley, I see you. Wait for a few more people to hop in. Cold surface, I see. Oh. Wait for a few more people, then I'm gonna get started. Brandon Babb, I see you. Y'all smash that like button. Travis Fisher, I see what's going on. Y'all been touching paint today, or y'all took the day off watching football? Yeah, yeah. I always get a little bit, not every day, but always sip on a little cognac, a little something. It ain't. That's all. That's all I drink, man. About that much. It ain't a lot, and that's about it. I'm not a big drinker, but um, I like to, get a little cognac at the end of the day. Just kind of mellows me out. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong, man. It's like, I mean, to each his own. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a day off and enjoying yourself, or watching, watching the game or doing something you enjoy doing. The good thing about it is, I know a lot of you guys have full time jobs, and you're probably detailed part time. Some of you guys are full time detailers or lawn care, or you do both like me. Um, sometimes, I mean, the good thing about it is you can do what you want. You can pretty much do what you want. That's the beauty, and that's the beauty in owning your own business, and or working for yourself, or being your own boss, however you want to call it. That's the good thing about that. Uh, you ain't gotta. You can do what you want, and that's the reason why I do what I do. Because as I started getting older, I started noticing it like in my mid 30s. I started realizing, like, man, just really got tired of people telling me what to do, and have to follow people that you should be following, and this person got a job, got is over you because he's been there longer, or he's over you because he knows somebody, or he got more degrees than you do, and I just got tired of that. Uh, I know what works best for me. I know why I do my best at, and if I could get myself there on my own, that'd be great. And I stepped out on faith, and I did it, and I hadn't looked back since. And I'm not gonna, it's just, I love what I'm doing. It's not necessarily detailing, but I love that, like if I wake up and I'm feeling good, or I'm tired, or I'm not feeling it, I mean, I can call everybody, reschedule, and take a day off. You can do that. That's the beauty in doing what you want. But when I was growing my business, I didn't take no days off unless it rained, or I got sick, and I don't ever remember getting sick. Uh, but if I can work, I try to work every single day. I try to make some money every day. That's why I say touch cash every day. Like, I really live that. I really live that touch cash every day. It's not something that I say, I live it. But let's get into it. How I raise my prices. When I first got into this, when I first got into you know lawn care detailing, when I started A&A, I really didn't know what to charge. I really didn't know. I didn't know how much I can get, how much I was worth. how much somebody would pay, how much somebody could afford. I didn't know anything. I didn't do no research. I just jumped out there. Uh, I was doing yards. I remember my first flyers. I even put on a flyer some yards as low as $35. You know, knowing that, and I found out real quick that that was a big mistake. But I remember showing up to a guy's house, and he called me because he got one of my flyers. I go out to his house, and he has a flyer in his hand. He was like, "Yeah, you said here some yards are 35, you know, as low as $35." I said, "Yeah, some could be as low as $35, but that doesn't mean your yard's gonna be $35." And right then, I learned something right there. Experience is the best teacher. I'm gonna talk more about experience, but like as soon as he told me that, I knew that okay, I don't need to have those type of prices on there, or I don't need to. Even if I do have a price that low, I don't need to advertise it because everybody's going to be, trying to get that price. So again, I didn't know anything at all, and so I remember getting my first customer. My first customer was like right around the corner from me, and she wanted pine straw and she wanted the yard cut. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So, and I actually got this customer with the flyer. That's crazy. But she called me. I went out, gave her an estimate. Was so excited, nervous at the same time, kind of anxious, unsure of myself. Uh, I got the price of the pine straw, and I told her it'd be this much to cut a yard and this much for the pine straw. And I actually forgot to charge her for putting down the pine straw. What I did was I just found out how many bales she'll need. I don't even remember how I figured that out, but I might have eyeballed it and said I think you're gonna need this many bales. So I told her I'm gonna need the money up front. She gave me the money up front. I go get the pine straw. I lay the pine straw, cut the yard, and when I got paid, I realized that wow, I forgot to charge her for the labor of putting down the pine straw on top of mowing the lawn. So uh, I didn't know anybody that was doing it. I wasn't watching YouTube. I had no one to ask. So I kind of think I undercut myself on that one, but I was happy because I passed out the flyers. Somebody called me for the flyers. I actually made some money, and on top of that, I got a customer. I have a. She wants me to come every 2 weeks, and then she changed to every week. So now I got an every week customer at $45 per cut. That should be that's like $180 a month. Then I started getting more customers. So the next time I did a pine straw job, I made sure that I got something for also putting the pine straw down. Didn't know, again, didn't didn't know didn't know what to do. Just kind of feeling it as I go. I made a lot of mistakes, and I learned from them, and I don't make those mistakes again. So then, 6 months later, I started my detailing. Well, the lawn care I kind of caught on fast because there's a lot of lawn care providers out here. It's a lot of people that's doing that service. So I started figuring out the prices by, you know, I would actually call them on the phone or call them out to my house and get an estimate just to see how much they was charging, and that's how I started doing my prices. When I would go pick up the pine straw, I would ask them, what's the going rate? Like when people put out pine straw, what are they charging? And one guy told me, well, however much the pine straw costs, you double it, and that's how you make your money. So if your power straw costs 150, okay, then you should your power straw costs 150, then you should be charging them 300, and you need to get the 150 up front. So that means, and actually you could charge more than that. You can actually charge more than that, but I think like $40 of that, like let's say pound straw is 150. You need, it's at, like $5 a bale, $5 a bale. You need 30 bales. 30 bales is gonna come out to 150. Well, you can charge them $100 or $105 to put the bales down, but you're gonna have to charge them another additional like $40 for a delivery fee or $35 for a delivery fee. And that's how they explained it to me. And then that's what I started doing. I looked around, other people were doing that too. So the lawn care things, stuff. I'm just giving you an example, but lawn care, I kind of picked that up pretty quick because prices, like it's so many of them, the prices are out there. But 6 months later, I started the detailing on my, A&A. I added the detailing. So I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know how to get the water to come out my from my water tank to the pressure washer. I didn't know how to, I didn't know how many watts I would need for my generator, to turn on my vacuum cleaner. I didn't know any of that stuff, so I was figuring that stuff out as I went. I didn't know how much money I can get. See, the thing is that when you don't know how much money you can get for a service, like you just be at a loss. And at the time, it wasn't a lot of people doing it. I didn't know anybody, didn't have anybody to ask. Same thing with, just like I was telling y'all with the lawn care. So over time, I figured out how to get the equipment to work. Once I did that, the first people that I targeted were my lawn care customers and clients. So first thing I did was I asked them, I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about doing, mobile detailing. That's why I come to your house and I'll do your cars and everything. And so I said, would that be something you'd be interested in? And every one of them said, yeah. So once I got my stuff going, I went back to those people and say, yo, the mobile detailing is available now. And just like they said, they all got their cars done. And so, I was charging, for cars 25, 35, very low prices. Didn't know any better charging those low prices. But what started to happen is as I started doing those cars, I would be sitting there and after I get done, I would feel like, yo, I should have got more. That's gonna be your first sign that your prices are low. Like when you do a job and you think that it's gonna take you an hour or an hour and a half, and it end up taking you 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and you're doing basic washing, like you just wiping down seats, wiping down dashboards, cup holders, vacuuming, washing the car windows, door jambs, tire shine. You might vacuum out the trunk, and you charging 25, and it took you 2 3 hours, and you're like, wow, I only made, so now you're making below minimum wage. That's going to be your first sign, because I will always compare myself to my last job, and if I wasn't making what I was making at my last job or higher, then I I could clearly see that, what, I'm not charging enough. But then the fear factor kicked in, and I know a lot of you guys can relate to this. The fear factor kicked in because I was like, if I charge too much, I would get a lot of no's. And that was one thing I was afraid of. I was afraid of people telling me no, customers and clients saying no, because the price may be too high. And, people would tell me, yo, you're not charging enough. I will actually, that's going to be another indicator. Customers that you don't know will tell you, are you sure? I remember one time I did a car, took me maybe 2 hours, and I told the lady like $35, and she was like, are you serious? Like, really? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And she said, you know what? And she gave me like $70. She said, yo, I'm gonna give you this. Uh, I'm like, wow, that's a big tip. What I'm saying? She gave me a $35 tip. usually people don't tip that big. You know, that's another sign that your prices may be too low. If somebody tips you a very large tip, like if you're charging $25 and they tip you $25 too, they give you $25 and they tip you, or you tell them 25 and they give you 70, or they give you $100. Definitely, that means that's a clear sign that your prices are too low. They may not want to tell you because sometimes people just don't feel like it's their place to tell you, but they may try to throw hints at you. Uh, so again, like I said, man, fear factor. So I was afraid that I was going to get the no. So even though people was telling me to charge more, even though I was getting tips, I stayed at that price. And then once I started talking to other detailers, uh, and it was mainly from YouTube, when I started talking to other detailers and I started seeing what they were charging and what they were doing, the packages they were offering, and I was like, okay, like that's the thing. Like when you see somebody else getting that type of money, or you see somebody else getting that type of love, then you ask yourself, or you tell yourself, you know what, could I get that? I think I can get that too. And so I started. That's when I started like, okay, I didn't just make a jump. I would raise it $5. So instead of 25, now I'm charging 30. And then plus I'm getting confident because now I'm getting a lot of cars because my prices are low. I'm getting a lot of cars, but it's raising my confidence because I'm having a lot of success. Every time I do a car, uh, I'm getting congratulated. I'm getting told how good of a job I did. I'm getting a lot of good results. So customers, they just, and they still tipping me pretty big. 20, 30, $40 tips. On $30 jobs. So I'm like, okay. Then when the word detail came into play, because at first I know I said earlier I added the detail, but I called it mobile car wash. If you guys been following me since the beginning, even on YouTube, the company name was A&A Lawn and Mobile Car Wash. If you go to some old videos, you'll see the logo. So I tried to stay away from that word detail because I thought that detailing was like some other stuff was going on, like it was on a whole nother level. So I was like, I don't want to call myself a detailer if I'm not detailing. Uh, but the whole time I was detailing because that's why it was taking me 2-3 hours to do, $20 washes because I was actually wiping the car, wiping everything down, cleaning up everything. If I saw stains in the seat, I would spot them, and I would do whatever I could to get that car to look good. And and I would take time and I would be very thorough with the vehicle. So, um, and then when I started looking at other people's packages and start talking to other people, then I started realizing, oh, I'm doing the same thing. I'm detailing. So the only thing I wasn't doing was, claying and waxing and shampooing. Those were the only things I wasn't doing. So after a while, I just said, you know what? I'm gonna add. I'm just gonna start saying I'm detailing, and I started going up. So I think I went up to like $40 for maintenance, and then I added like the standard and the full detail, and I think my full started out at $100. And little by little, I just started raising my prices. I never jumped like from, let's say I'm at 100 and then I jumped to 150. Like I didn't do that. I would gradually move it up, gradually move it up. Sometimes a $10 increment or a $5 increment. Just being real careful when I did it. Uh, the first thing I did was the first thing you got to do when you want to raise your prices is you have to know who wants your services. We talk about demographics. A lot of people think that demographics is where you live. Well, it is in a sense, but demographics covers more than just location. Demographics is, can be gender, religion, uh, income. Your income level. It's so much that goes under demographic. It's just not. It's just not. Location, family, how many people are in each home, or this, are you age, are you a senior citizen, are you young, middle age, all that comes into, goes with it. So I started, you know, you want to know who needs your services and who wants your services, but you know, you're trying to use common sense, which sometimes common sense doesn't work in all cases. In most cases, but not in all cases. Lawn care, when you see someone yard is a mess, you think, oh, they need me. And you run over there with your car, yo, you need a yard guy? Well, there's a reason that their yard is a mess. And it's not because they can't find a yard guy, because it's a yard guy everywhere. Uh, they don't, if their yard is a mess, now, some people, somebody could have got sick, somebody could have got hurt, things like that. Uh, in those cases, yeah. But in the most cases that I've seen in my experience, if somebody's yard is a mess, that means that they don't want to, that they not going to pay anybody to do it. They're going to try to do it themselves, and they're going to put it off and put it off and put it off until they get notices and warnings and tickets and citations. That's when they're going to get it done, or they may call you out then when it's so bad that the city is on their back. Now they're gonna get it done now, and that's when they'll spend the money. Same thing with a car. If somebody's car is filthy, that's not the person you want to run up to and say, "Hey, I clean cars. I'll clean your car." That car is filthy for a reason, because it's car washes on every corner. There's places where they can get that car cleaned up. They may not do a superb job, but at least you can get a lot of the dirt out of the vehicle and off the vehicle. And they're not going to do that. So the first thing you got to do before you raise your prices is that you want to target the people. You want to target the people that have that need your services. And the type of people that need your services are people who work a lot of hours, people who have multiple vehicles, people that have multiple kids, uh, people that have good jobs, nice neighborhoods, high income neighborhoods. And you can look at the neighborhood and you can tell just by looking at it if it's a high income neighborhood. You can tell. Those are the people that you want to target, because those are the people that a high price is not going to scare them. They're used to things costing that, especially when they're getting the service done. These people already get all types of services done, and they already know that it's going to be at a certain price. They have pools in their backyard. They got a pool guy. They probably have a nanny. They probably have a maid. They got a guy that come cuss the yard. So why not them have a guy that come do the cars? So I started learning that, little by little. I didn't know it. I didn't know it at first. So my prices kind of stayed at that low price for a little while. But once I started realizing the type of people that was getting their cars done, and when my prices started getting my prices started being more high end, I started realizing that the cars I do are not dirty, and started to realize that they was not picking my maintenance package, which is really a car wash. They wasn't picking my maintenance detail at all. They was picking standards and fulls, and most of the time they was picking fulls. And so, I, and I just kept, over time, I just kept inching it up. $5 more here, $10 here, $5 here, and I'm talking about, I probably, since I've been doing this, I probably raised my prices over 20 times. I didn't just jump. And I'm not saying that you can't do that, but I was too afraid to jump from one to another where it just be super noticeable. Like, I was charging 100, 2 months ago. Now I'm charging 150. Like I didn't do that, you know. Yeah, you. That's a good question. Cold surface acts as a new kid on the block. Should I start off with high prices or work my way up? I don't want to disrespect other details. Now, it depends on your experience level too, your skill level. If there are certain things that you can't do, if you know you're not good at certain parts of detailing, and now if you can provide a good service and you can do good work and you're good at what you do, you can charge. You can start off with what everybody else is charging. Um, there's nothing wrong with working your way either. There's nothing wrong, but it just depends on your comfort level, your knowledge, and your skill. Um, I mean, looking back, I could have started out at the prices I am now back then. I just didn't know any better, So the thing is, don't talk yourself out of money because that's what I did. I talked myself out of the money. But as I started doing more details and started being able to to converse and go back and forth and talk with these customers and talk with these clients and being comfortable, like knowing what I'm talking about because I've done this particular package, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I've done it so many times. I'm so comfortable with it. I got a routine and I stick to that routine every time. I stick to that routine. And and then I started buying more customers. I started buying more custom. I mean, I started buying more products and more equipment and getting better and being more confident because now I got equipment that makes the job easier. I started getting more customers, so I was like, okay, things like little things like an air compressor, a drill brush, a steamer, things that would just that would kind of make me speed through certain parts of the detail, certain chemicals like wheel brightener, things like that, uh, things like that. That made me more confident to where I knew that some detailers didn't have that, and some detailers wasn't doing that, and I knew that I was. So I felt confident in asking for a certain amount because I knew that I was going to do a good job. So uh, that's how I approached it. I was always seeking to get better, and I was always seeking to raise my prices to make more money. Because trust me, when you get out there and you start doing this type of work, it's hot outside, and you got to do 5 cars just to make $100, and you got to work all day just to make $100. You're gonna get tired of that. Your body's gonna tell you, yo, this ain't enough. You understand what I'm saying? And you can go from, I went from doing 5 cars to make $100 to just do one. You know, a wash and a wax outside only and make $100. You know what I'm saying? I would work my way up because nobody knows anything about you. They are going to be hesitant about paying high prices. That's just my opinion. Yeah, but you gotta look at this, Larry Young. You gotta look at this. I got customers. I got a customer that called me today. They don't know me. Uh, they didn't know me. I got a lot of customers that don't get recommended. That don't get recommended by other customers. They just, they did a search. They found me. They called me. The only thing they had was the reviews, and that's another thing. You want to build up your reviews. If you have any of these platforms, Facebook, Google, Instagram, Yelp, all these platforms where you can leave reviews, you want to do that because uh, not everyone's gonna know you. You may get outside your network because I do get referrals. Uh, People do see me around, see me do the work or whatever, but every now and again, somebody's not gonna know you. So uh, you want to have a resume. You want to have recommendations. You want to have reviews. So when you have that, it makes the person feel comfortable about paying the price. Uh, I actually, to be honest, I don't recommend anybody starting out at $20, at $25. Now that's just something that I did because, and what I did, it was a strategy. It was a strategy, but that strategy came from lack of knowledge. If I had to do it all over again, I would have started out at a higher price because when I was charging 25, I had people tipping me, 20, $25 on top of the 25. So, starting out with 50, 60, and if you're doing detailing, because you got to understand, you're offering them I mean, actually you could charge higher than 60 and $70 actually. You could start at a price at 100 for a detail, and that's for a wipe down, washing the exterior. You can start at that right now. Because you got to understand, you should be getting 30 or $40 just for driving out to the house. If you got water, you got your own electricity, you got all your chemicals, you got all this stuff. Now, if you don't have let's say if you don't have electricity, you don't have a generator, and you don't have water, you got to hook up to their stuff, then you might want to reevaluate your price. But still, even if you're using their electricity and water, $25 is too low. It's 2020. You shouldn't be charging $20 for anything to be driving to anybody's house and providing any kind of service. I mean, to get a haircut, if somebody comes to your house to get a haircut, it's going to be more than $20. I'm in Mississippi. You do your research. Mississippi is the lowest state as far as income. The lowest state in the nation. Mississippi is always 50 last. So here, you call somebody out to your house to get a haircut, it's going to be more than $20. So you shouldn't be charging $20 for anything. Yeah, it'll take longer than that because the thing is and I'm gonna tell you guys, when you charge that price, when you charge $20, see, I'm giving y'all the background, the history of what I went through. Not to tell you guys to start out at that price. If I had to do it all over again, I would not start out at $20. Starting at that price was just a lack of knowledge. I didn't know any better, but it just so happened that it worked. It worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for you. We may not have the same circumstances, but you want to charge more than that. You're providing the service. You're providing a level of convenience. When you go to a convenience store, when you go to a convenience store, don't you notice that everything is priced like high, almost double than what you would get at a grocery store or at a at Sam's or Costco's or something like that or Kroger or whatever stores y'all got in y'all areas, grocery stores. If you notice, uh, a convenience store stuff will be a little higher. You go there to buy like you go to a parts store and get some oil, it might be $4 or $5. You go to a gas station, a convenience store, and they got a bottle of oil. That bottle of oil might cost you $9. So that extra money is for the convenience because you don't have to walk in a big store, wait in a super long line, and check out. You can grab it, go to the counter, and be in and out of there in less than 5 minutes. And that's what you're paying for. You're paying for convenience, hence the name convenience store. You understand what I'm saying? So when you offer somebody a level of convenience, when you're bringing the shop to their house, you got to get more than $20. You got to. You got to get more than $20. You shouldn't be. I think that you can start at $100 if you can start at $100 for a maintenance detail. If you're going to someone's house, you can start off at that. If you're in lower income areas, you can start at $75 or something like that, or 65. But you can actually get more than that. People will actually pay you more than that. And the thing is that you want to go to these areas again. If you're trying to cater to people in your neighborhood, If you're in a low income neighborhood yourself, that's where you live. You don't want to advertise to that demographic because those are going to be the nastiest cars. The lower the price, the dirtier the cars. Those are going to be the nasty cars. Those are going to be the people that never get their car done. But why not? It's $20. Why not? Let me drop off this car with all this pet hair, all this debris and grass and rocks and everything that's on the floorboard and all this dust and all the coffee that's in the cup holders. That's going to take you. It's going to take you. I don't care how big or small that car is. If that car is filthy, it's going to take you at least 2.5 hours. If you're and if you're trying to get it perfect and detail it, and after you do that car and that lady gives you $25 with no tip, you something's gonna go off in your head. I've been there. I've been there. I've and the thing was is that at that time I didn't want to piss anybody off. I was scared to tell them that oh, I'm gonna need extra for pet hair. Oh, I'm gonna need extra for a dirty car. I'm gonna need that. But once I bent over all day vacuuming, bent over for an hour vacuuming and wiping the interior, or hour and a half just in the interior, and then I get done and I do 3 or 4 cars, and out of those 3 or 4 cars, 3 of them was nasty, and then I come home, all I got is $75 or $100. Trust me, you're gonna trust me. You're worth more than $25. I don't care who you are. I don't care what level you are at detailing. You're worth more than $25, and you're gonna see it when you get out there and you do that work, and they give you that money with no tip. And the car was filthy. Don't say, "Oh my God, my car looks new." Some of them won't even say that, and you will see the difference. I started seeing the difference immediately when I started catering to you know um, higher income people, with higher income people, with families, people that worked all the time, people who didn't have time to do the cars but they wanted to get them done, or people who did not want to do their cars. uh, they will pay you. You'll tell them, yo, oh, this that'll be 150. Okay, they give you 200, or they give you 165 or 175, giving you 50 and 20 and $30 tips on top of $150 job. And then you're not gonna ever you're gonna hate that you ever did that. And that's how I was. I was like, I can't believe that I was doing those cars that cheap. You guys do not want to start out at $25. I start my regular wash at 65. That's a decent price. I don't even want to wake up for less than 100. Yeah. But again, that's just my opinion. If you want to charge, that's just my opinion. If you want to charge 25, 35, 40, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Uh, I don't recommend it. Anytime you're doing any type of work like that, you should be getting more money. You should be getting more money for that. And those people, they know it. Those people who because sometimes some people take advantage of you. They'll give you $25, won't give you a tip, and they'll give you that $25 and they'll let you clean their filthy cars, and they'll take advantage. I started noticing that I was getting, called by the same person, like, you know, 2 to 3 times a month. You know, they call and they call and they call in, and you're doing their car. And the only thing good about that is now the car's cleaner because you've been keeping it clean. That was the only thing good about it. But you start to realize that you should be getting more money for that. Because if you're doing the car, you got to do the math. And that's the thing. A lot of you guys are not doing the math. If it takes you 2 hours or 3 hours to do a car, and you're only charging 25, You got to do the math. You're making $7 an hour. You're making $7 an hour. And if those cars are dirty, there's no way you're going through those cars in an hour. I don't believe it. If you're going through those cars in an hour, you're not detailing. You're just washing the car, hitting a few areas, vacuuming the floors, and getting that car back. That's the only way you can do it in an hour. But if you're going to detail it, if you're going to, wipe out cup holders and wipe out air vents and wipe down the dash and scrub the seats and, shampoo the carpets, I mean, even if you don't, let's take the shampooing out, let's take the waxing out. It's still not. It's still gonna take you over an hour, and so it's not worth it. Trust me, it's not worth it. When your pressure washer break down, or when something breaks, that's when you're gonna realize you're not charging enough because you're not gonna even have enough money to even replace the stuff. And then if you got it, or to even take it to get fixed, you take it to go get fixed. They're gonna charge you $75 just to touch it. I know some places they charge you $75 an hour for labor to fix equipment. $75 an hour, and you're making less than that, and you gotta do the math. You gotta put gas in you gotta put gas in your equipment, gas in your vehicles. Uh, you gotta re-up, buy new. You gotta maintain your equipment. You gotta re-up and buy new products. New tire shine, new soap, new APC. You gotta buy all that stuff. So you want to make sure you're charging correctly. Uh, exactly, exactly, exactly. I didn't think about that. It takes you 15 to 30 minutes just to set up, and it just depends on how your setup is. But even I have hose reels. I got everything organized. I got everything just right. It takes me at least 10 to 15 minutes to set up. It takes me about 15 minutes to set up, to pull out my bags, have my chemicals at arm's reach, uh, start my generator, and get started. Even with a setup that everything is ready, man. That's right. 15 to 30 minutes just to set up. That's a fact. Right. And you have to pack up. You're right. So that's at least 30 minutes to an hour just setting up and packing up. You understand what I'm saying? It's yeah. So when I tell you guys about the $20 detail, I'm not glorifying it. I'm not trying to say that's the right thing. I'm just saying that's my journey. That's from where I came from. But the reason that I was telling you guys about the $20 detail a while ago was that was the opportunity. Sometimes when you're doing something, the money is not as important as the opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity is more important. Those $20 details has done so much for me, but it's not to motivate you guys to charge 20 and $25. No. I'm just telling you from whence I came. I'm telling you from what I started from. But a $20 detail, that $20 detail that I was doing, it it did so much for me. Uh, it allowed me to put out content on YouTube because that $20 prompted so many people to get details. It wasn't even details; it was car washes, but to get people to get those cars done, which means I had a lot of content. I had a lot of before and after pictures. When I started my website, I needed pictures. I had already had a whole bunch of pictures from those $20 car washes, those before and afters. I had a lot of content to do videos with. Those videos led me into meeting, you know, led me into meeting people like, Eric Jones, G Works, and all sorts of people. And then I was able to learn from these people, and I was able to go and work with these people and actually go meet these people and look at their packages and see how they was doing. If it wasn't for those $20 details, I wouldn't have, that wouldn't have been possible. I don't see that being possible. So then, it was more about the opportunity, you know, because don't get me wrong, when I left my job, I had money saved up, you know, so I was not living off lawn care and detailing when I first started doing it. It took me a few years until I got it right, until I could actually live off of it. I was living off savings at the time. So don't get it twisted, because trust me, you won't survive charging $20 at a business. You're If you're trying to start a business, you're not a hustler. I don't care if you're doing it part time. I don't care if you're doing it. I don't care if you don't even have your paperwork together. You know, I don't care if you're doing one a month. You got to charge accordingly. You have to. There's no reason to go out there and let somebody take advantage of you like that. No, $20, no. And I knew better at the time. I mean, I knew I should get more than 20, but I wanted my business to work, and I didn't want to hear the word no. So it was more fear. I was like, I know that they won't say no to this price. And but I was like, okay, let me get some cards under my belt. Let me have some pictures that I can take. Let me get some experience with dealing with customers. And let me, I could get some videos done. And then over time, I just, little by little, I go up 10. I'll go up 5. I'll let it stay there for 6 months or 7 months. Then I'll go up again and go up again. And before I knew it, you know, I was, full details, 185. Uh, 185 for cars, 205 for 185 for cars, 205 for SUVs, 225 for large SUVs, 245 or whatever I was charging for, or 255 for extra large SUVs. Then I start coming up with different packages: wash and wax only, interior only, a maintenance detail, add wax, a standard detail, add wax. I started doing stuff like that. Headlight restoration. Uh, and I started seeing, people really need this service. When I started seeing, when I found out who needed the service, then I knew who to advertise to, and I knew I would get my price. And once I started getting people to say yes to that price, then I wasn't negotiating no more. I'm not gonna negotiate with you. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm not doing anything for $20. Those people that was paying that $20 back then, I don't even know where they at. I haven't talked to them in years. Uh, and I have some people that were with me, that stayed with me, and I went up about 20 or 30 times. And come on. Oh, you went up? Oh, okay, come on. I understand. You went up? Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'll still pay it. No problem. You know. Um, and those were the people that was giving me the big tips, and those were the people that were telling me you need to charge more. They still around. Trust me. Just imagine you have a slow day. A slow day is one car, and you make 185 or 150 for a few hours of work, for 1 hour of work, 2 hours of work. I'll take that all day. You know, versus I had to go out there and do 5, 6 cars and only get $100. Yeah, you know, and then just imagine doing an SUV. Just imagine doing a large SUV for $45. Come on, man. Trust me. Yeah, when that back start getting tight and start aching, when them arms start aching, when your hands when your hands start cramping up but for doing this all day, yeah, you're gonna be like, oh, $50 ain't enough. You'll feel it. Sharon Webb, what's going on? Exactly. Not to mention the cost of materials and chemicals and equipment. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, just imagine. And then you're not even making enough money to buy the stuff in bulk. 5 gallons of tire shine usually runs you $100. You're not gonna even have enough money. So that what you're gonna do every time you make, when you do 3 or 4 cars, if you go to AutoZone and get get the little bottles of tire shine, the little 20 something ounces bottles of tire shine that might last you 3 cars. Might do 3 cars. It might. You might start running out on the third car, and you only made $60, and then you got to go buy more, and you're gonna have to buy at least 2 or 3 bottles. You're gonna be at it depends on what you get. The I used to grab. I still do from time to time. I get all my stuff in bulk now, but and from time to time I still grab some Armor All. $5. It's like a 22 ounce bottle. I would have to get like at least 4 bottles, and that'll be $20. And so just imagine you buy $4 at $20, and you charge 25 for a car. Like, come on, man. It just don't add up. Do the math. You guys do the math. Y'all know what 2 plus 2 is. You know what 2 times 2 is. You know 2 divided by 2 is. You know that. You know. So you want to do your math. You don't want to go out there and jump out the window and charging $25. It's not gonna happen. Uh, some of you guys might like to do a la carte. You know, when you, oh, I'm just gonna clean the seats, but not clean the whole car. Oh, I'm gonna just do the dashboard. Oh, we're just gonna do the tires, or oh, we're just gonna do an engine detail. I don't do that because that's a way to let cheap people in. You know, that's the way to let cheap people in. They'll come in and they'll look at your packages and they'll say, oh, I can't afford that. And then they'll say, oh, okay, well, you know what? Just don't worry about the body. Wash my tires and vacuum my floors. Come on, man. And you got people that will do that because they don't have the money, and they'll try their best to keep every dollar that they have, and they'll come in there, yo, Ashton, close the door. And they'll come in there and they'll be like, they'll come in there and they'll be like, yeah, let me get this done, but I don't want this. Let me get that done, but I don't want that. No, you don't want to do that. Uh, you're a professional. You're about your money. You go out there and you make your money. Don't let those people take advantage of you because they will. Eco Wave detail. A regular wash is pretty much what the car wash does. When you go to a car wash, it's really hit and miss. You wash the car. You may not wipe the door jams. You may not vacuum the trunk. You won't get the gas tank. You're not gonna focus on You're not gonna focus on perfection. You're just trying to get the car clean. Uh, you know, you may wipe the dash, not wipe the cup holders, stuff like that. When you're doing a detail, you're gonna be very meticulous. You're cleaning the air vents. You're making sure the windows are done, are perfect. You're making sure that, or as perfect as you can get it. Door jams, you're doing the trunk, you're doing stuff like that. So you don't want to you don't want to there is a point where you draw the line, but the thing is that at some point, if you want to do car washes, that's fine, but you're a mobile car wash. There's a difference. You're a mobile car wash. You can do You could do kind of a car wash like detail type thing where you're not really detailing, but you're really cleaning the vehicle. You clean the vehicle thoroughly. You can still charge top dollar for that. You can charge $100 for a car wash. You can charge $100 washing the car, wiping the windows, wiping everything down. You can charge for that. You can literally charge $100, 75 to $100. People will pay for that because it's going to be better than the car wash. And plus, you come to them, they'll spend $100 to they'll spend $100 to not have to wait in a waiting room with their kids while they could be at home taking care of whatever they need to be doing. While you're doing that, they're killing two birds with one stone. People will pay for that. So, and the thing about it is, it's up to you. There's no, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Somebody came up with the 2 bucket wash. I don't remember who did, but I remember the first time I saw the 2 bucket wash with the grit guards was Junkman 2000. That's the first time I saw that. And when he explained it, it made a lot of sense. Uh, I do the 2 bucket method sometimes. But just because somebody says something and you seeing everybody do it, that doesn't make it the only way you can do it. You can come up with your own way, just like somebody came up with the 2 bucket method. You can come up with your own way. You're saying where you draw the line, that's up to you. If you say, okay, I'm going to call mine a car wash, but I'm going to be more thorough with my car wash. I'm going to do a lot of the same things that detailers do, but I'm going to draw the line here. You can draw the line where you want to draw the line. It's your business. You guys have to take ownership of your business and take control of your business and not lean on other detailers, especially YouTube detailers, even me. You don't want to lean on me to come up with, to come up with what you need to do for your business. That's something that you want to have total control over. I don't mind giving advice. I'll give you advice all day on things like that. But some of the best advice I can get, one of the best things I can tell you is, you have to figure out where to draw the line. That's up to you. O&R detailing news. I see you. Uh, I've never turned down a car that was too filthy. I never turned a car down that was too filthy. What I'll do is I'll just give them a high price. I'll give them a high price. Sometimes I've seen cars on that people put up in pictures that I would have turned down, but I've never personally saw a car that I wanted to. What's going on, father and sons? I never saw a car that personally that I would turn down. And I've seen some nasty cars. I always make an attempt. What I do is I tell the customer, look, it's not going to be perfect. You let this car go for a long time. It's bad. I just be honest with them. I know that I can get this car looking a whole lot better, but will it be perfect? I doubt it. But I will do my best to try to get it there. But and that's what I'll tell them, and I'll just I will charge them accordingly. I'll look at that car. Yo, this car's gonna take me 5-6 hours. It's gonna start at 350. It's gonna start at 350, and they send me pictures and it looks a mess. I gotta see it. I always look at it. I tell them about anything that's just filthy. I'm at 350, $400, $500. I start off at an extremely high price. Sometimes I do it to try to deter them, but if they with it, oh, it's gonna be worth my while. But with all the tools that I got, drill brushes, steamers, air compressors, I know I can make something happen with any vehicle. I hadn't seen one yet that I would just be like, you know what, I'm not doing it. Ricardo, I see you. Andrew Perrin, I see you. Yeah. Right. Again, you guys have been talking about my van, and if I was charging, if I still was charging $25, I probably couldn't even get my truck fixed if it broke down, let alone buy a van. So that van is probably only what I think that's a 16. I gotta look. I think that's a 17. I forget, but I gotta look at the paperwork. But that van is only like what 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old. Uh, Fairly new van. I was able to pay cash for it, so like I wouldn't been able to do that if if I wasn't charging correctly. That's the thing. You're gonna want to upgrade your equipment. You're gonna want to new things. Things are gonna break. So you know those prices gotta go up. They gotta go up. Uh, and start little by little. Start little by little. If you're nervous about it, move up a little bit, stay at that price for a little while, move up some more. Uh, I'm just telling you guys what I did. I know people who just jump. They just be like, yeah, I was charging 100, now it's 200, and they just rock out like that. I mean, when sometimes I see people say I charge 450, I charge six, I charge 250, 300. Now are they getting that? I don't know, but somebody getting that type of money. I mean, somebody is. It may not be a lot of people, might be just a few people, but somebody's getting that type of money. So you know, when I work with Sporty, I should talk with Sporty on the phone, and we'll be talking on the phone. He'll be detailing, I'll be detailing. We going back and forth. We talking, and I'll hear him talking to the customer, and I'll hear him giving the price, and I'll be like, wow. And I'm hearing it. He's like really getting that price. Like I hear him talking to a customer. Then I went up there and worked with him. I've been down there twice to work with Sporty, and I'm looking at the checks, I'm looking at the tips, like, cause we so cool. Like he opened up everything, let me see everything. He don't hide nothing from me. He let me see everything. So uh, I'm there when he's talking to the customer, and then we'll be talking. We'll be talking with the customer, and the customer be like, yeah, oh, so how much I owe you? He give him the price. Guy write him a check with the big tip, and he'll show me, and he was showing me that because he was like, yo, raise your prices. He was showing to motivate me to raise your prices, and at that time I was already raising my prices. When I came home, like when I went last year, when I came home, soon as I touched down, I jumped on my computer, went to my website, went up on my prices, and so I think I went up like $15. Cause I think I was at like 150. I went up to like 165. I'm at 185 now for a for a car, and pretty soon I'm gonna go up to like 200. You see what I'm saying? Cause I know I can get it. Uh, I know I can get it. I did a car today. I just did a wash and wax on the outside, charging 125. They gave me 150. So when you giving me tips like that, that's just telling me, yo, you can afford 150. I'm gonna go up. I know the next person can afford it. So, and I don't. I mean, and then the crazy thing about it is my lowest package, which is a maintenance detail. People don't even get that package no more. I'm just gonna take it off, man. Really, I've been thinking about for a long time just taking it off. I really been thinking that. I've been really thinking about taking taking that package off because they don't even order that package. Um, you can use bug and tar to get tar off the side of a vehicle. Bug and tar. If you could go to a place, yeah, if you can go to a acid, that aluminum brightener will work too. But I only use that on white cars. I try not to use that on uh, colored vehicles. But white cars, um, and super clean to get that stuff off. You spray it on there and you massage it in, and you hit it with your pressure washer. That stuff will come off. If you get you a rag, make sure you get you some, some cheap microfiber rags or whatever. Something that you don't care about getting, bug and tar on, or uh, you know, getting that stuff on there. Get you some bug and tar and just gently rub, or you can spray it with super clean and just gently rub, and a lot of that tar, a lot of that stuff will come off. Any type of degreaser will get that stuff off, but you got to dilute that stuff. You got to spray it on a cool surface, not in direct sunlight, and that'll get a lot of that stuff off. You'll be surprised what degreaser can do. Purple Power, super clean, any of that stuff works. Having everything in my van is going great. I love it because, and that's the thing with raising your prices, because when that's the thing of raising your prices is because at some point you're going to want to upgrade. You're going to see changes that you need to make your business better, to make you more efficient, you know, to make more money. And you're going to need money to get that other. You're gonna need money to get money, basically. Sometimes you gotta spend 1,000 just to make 500. You know, you may have to spend that 1,000 one time, and then you're gonna keep making that 500. But a lot of people, if they see they got to spend 1,000 to make 500, they won't do it. You understand what I'm saying? I always look at the opportunity. I look at the money, but I also look at the opportunity. And if I can if I can put this amount into it, and this opportunity is going to be good for me and it's going to create more opportunities, I'll spend it easily. No questions, like no hesitation. I'll spend it. So that's why I was, you know, raising my prices. I was able to do that because all I had was my truck, and I would have to, swap out, and so swapping out, that'll be an hour, like driving back home or driving to the storage unit, and then taking this this setup off and putting another one on, and then driving to the location. That'll take an hour when I could have just spent 10-15 minutes driving to the location and do the job. And so uh, that's been helping out. That helped me out a lot. That helped me out a lot. And so I love it. I just see some more like little changes I'm gonna do. I'm just seeing what will, I've been working with the way it is now, and I'm like, yo, I like it like this. Like, you know, I just need to add more things, take away some things, and you know, break it down to the necessities. You know, all this other stuff I don't need, get it out the way, make everything efficient, and uh, you won't be able to do all that if you're not charging correctly. You will see it. You'll realize that fast. It's not gonna take you long. You do about 4 or 5 cars and you're not charging enough. You're gonna realize after the second, third car, you're gonna be like, man, I done made a mistake. I need to go up on my prices. The only thing that's gonna keep you there is fear of losing the customers that you do have. Right, right. I see you, Ballard. Um, yeah, that fear factor is that's what really holds a lot of us back when it comes to stuff like this. But it's in your head, really. It's in your head. Uh, the stuff that you're thinking about, um, the people that you're dealing with, not even thinking about that. So, like I said, you won't be scared. You won't be scared after after you know, broke, you come home and your body's sore and all you got is, just imagine, man, to make $200, you gotta do 10 cars. That's just not realistic. It don't make any sense. Um, so like, there's no reason for me to. There's just no reason for me to do that. Um, the thing is, the higher the price, the less the less customers you're gonna have, daily, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Take you, you do 2 cars, you at 300-400 bucks. That's what you want. Take your time. You can take your time in those 2 cars too. It may take you 5, 6 hours. You get up 7 o'clock in the morning. You start on a car, you get done by 12, 1 o'clock. You do another car, you get done by 5 or 6. $400 a day. Do the math. That's what you guys need to start doing. Do the math, man. You know, forget what stuff look like. Forget chemicals. Forget equipment. Forget all this other stuff, man. Do the math. Do the math. See, a lot of you guys don't look past what's in front of you. Do the math. What's 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? How many days in a year? 365. Let's say you make $300. You make $300, over a period of 365 days. 3 times 3 is 9, so 3 times 3 is 365 is going to be over 9. So it's going to be 100,000. So you can literally make $100,000 a year doing this. You can do a wash and wax for 150 outside only. Wash and wax, and you can get 300 bucks. That's 2. That could take you, wash and wax. Literally, I could do a wash and wax in an hour, hour and a half maybe. If the outside is really dirty, maybe an hour and a half because the outside was dirty. But if the outside is regular, it take me an hour. I can wash a car in 15 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Do the math. So, look at the numbers. Numbers mean something. Look at data. Look at the data. I was on a New Wave the other day. We had a New Wave member put a post up, and they put they Google Analytics on the side of it. A lot of people didn't know what that was. It didn't get a lot of likes. A lot of people, it didn't get a lot of likes because people don't care, don't look at numbers. They don't care. They just, you know, people like to see paint and like to see products and equipment and stuff, and that's cool. But detailing is way bigger than that. And if you want to buy all that nice stuff, you can't buy it without customers unless you waiting on your income tax check or unless you got a job. And that's what I'm noticing. A lot of people got 9 to 5 jobs so they can, save up a couple of their checks and go buy the stuff. But people like me that's full time, that's making the money and that same money. So like when I make $200, I gotta save out of that $200. I gotta pay bills out of that $200. I gotta put money back into the business on that $200. I gotta fix equipment, so that money gets broken up. It goes in different directions. But you know, person like me, when when everything is on you and you're doing everything, you pay attention to the numbers, you pay attention to the math. Again, like I said, he put his YouTube not YouTube, he put his Google Analytics up there, and it was showing how many people were interacting with his page. It was showing how many people. It shows you how many people uh, calls you that thing, and people didn't even know what that was, and that's strange to me. I guess I just think different, but that's strange to me. Uh, First off, people talking about how much to charge of this and this and that, but you got to get customers to charge them. You got to get those customers. You can't raise prices if you ain't got customers. And you got to always be getting new customers, because sometimes when you raise your prices, you're going to lose some of your old customers. So you need to get new customers at new prices. And if you're not getting them, it's all about numbers, man. This is a business. It's all about numbers. How many gallons? How many ounces in a gallon? Do y'all know what that is? How many ounces in a gallon? Y'all can Google all this stuff. How many ounces in a gallon? So like when you go to these places and you're buying ounces and you do the math, if you add it up, sometimes you could have bought a gallon after you done bought 4 or 5 bottles of this stuff you buying at these stores. You could have bought, you could have bought 5 gallons or a gallon by now, cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so so y'all do the math. This is business. It's mostly math, man. It's all math. You know, how many can you do in a day at what price? How much gas are you using? How much chemicals are you using? How many gallons do you need? How many gallons can make this many gallons if you're gonna dilute it? Do the math, man. I'm just telling you guys. That's very, very, very important, man. Stop focusing on equipment and chemicals and and likes on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. I mean, that stuff is all cool, but your day can't be about that. You understand what I'm saying? And anyway, I'm seeing a lot of new faces on here. I see a few people I've never seen on here before. Y'all go join the New Wave Facebook group. It's called New Wave by ANA. You're going to see a New Wave logo, and then you're going to see that ANA logo that y'all know so well is going to be in the middle of that. New Wave, NEWWAVE, New Wave by ANA on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. Go there. I'm accepting everybody. Y'all can go there and show off and show your stuff and everything and all that. There's nothing wrong with showing off, man, but know them numbers. Know your business. You know what I'm saying? And then you can show off numbers. You can show off numbers, because like that when I saw him show that he had a picture of I think it was an Audi, and then on the other side he had his analytics, his numbers for how people reach him, how people on Google, how people reach him, how they finding him, the activity, what they doing, how many people calling him, how many people going to the website, how many people looking at his photos. All of that is up there, and you can look at that stuff and you can see how it's doing, and so when y'all ask how to get customers and clients, people throwing it up in your face. You just got to know what you're looking at. You understand what I'm saying? So, when you guys are talking about prices and you want to start detailing, you want to buy all this equipment, and you're asking me about this and you're asking me about that, That stuff is not gonna matter if you ain't got no customers and clients. You can ask me till you're blue in the face, you'll never get to apply it because you can buy all these chemicals. I know people go buy gallons and gallons and gallons of stuff and, you know, don't have a customer yet. But you're going to live and learn. I saw that. Rob Zilla, what's that? Rob Zilla Garage. You was pasting your stuff. Motorcycle. I saw that. Yo, how much you charging to do that? And where you located? I've been seeing that on the new wave. A website is definitely worth it. Some place where you can filter your customers. Um, like the thing about it, you can filter them through there. Cut down on phone calls. Cut down on a whole bunch of questions because you go to you go to a website and just about any question somebody will have, you can put it on your website. I think websites are worth it. Really think they're worth it. Uh, it's just like everything. When you get it, it takes time to build it up. It takes time to get people to go to your website. There are ways to push people to your website. It's not that difficult. It just takes time. Uh, I mean, I get people to book on my website quite often. Not every day. They still call, but every now and again I'll get somebody to book. Last week I had two people book on my website. Uh, they call most of the time, but then I have some people who look at my website then call. That's the best thing about it because now they can look at your prices, look at your packages, and they already know what they want when they call you. And that's awesome. You don't have to do a whole bunch of talking. Uh, and serious people, go to your website and book. Those are serious people. Those are people that want to get it done. They go in there, they look at your availability, they book, and they go on about their business. Wait for you to call and get the particulars and you go from there. It's worth it. I put my prices on. Matter of fact, I need to update my prices because I think when I changed my prices, I didn't update them on Facebook. But yes, I have my prices on Facebook too. I need to update my prices on Facebook. Right, right. I see you guys. I see what y'all saying. Y'all saying some good stuff. But again, the thing is that uh, guys, be more business oriented. Look at your competition and do research in your area. You know, it can be simple as going to Google and typing in mobile detailers near you, and your competition is going to pop up and see what they're charging. Some of them don't have their prices listed. Some of them do. Look at the local car wash and see what they're charging, because those local car washes, those hand car wash little spots, they offer detailing. It's just that they got to bring the car to them, but they offer it, and people go there. People go there, drop their car off, and get a ride. So you want to see how much they're charging. Uh, I did a car today, and they told me, yeah, it's a little place over here that gets a lot of business at a gas station. Gets a lot of business, and I've had a couple of customers told me they've been there before. new customers say, yeah, I went there last time, but I want to use you because I don't have to go nowhere. You just come to me. I'll pay for that. That's a good service. I have a lot of people tell me that. So got to be more business oriented, man. You got to look at this as a business. I don't care if you are doing it part time. I don't care if you got a job. You got to look at this as a business, man. Or it just don't need to be doing it. If you out here playing around, it's just. I mean, and that's just me. You guys. You do. What I say ain't law. But uh, but if you in this to make money, man, you should make your money. It's no need to be out here. Playing around, charging, little small prices. I don't know, I don't, some of you guys, I don't know where you at. I'm not going to go and do the research for you. I get paid for that. But, like, if you guys want any, help or anything like that, I charge, a fee. I can consult you. I can, do some research for you. I can, show you how to get started up as far as the equipment, from detailing to getting customers, like the whole nine. Um, so if you guys are serious about doing this, but like, don't call me, don't waste my time, don't contact me if you're not serious. I'm not trying to talk on the phone and you know be all buddy buddy and all that. It's strictly business. I got a few people that I help out from time to time and talk to them and buddy buddy. Just a few people, but that's not what I'm here for. Like, if you guys are serious and you're trying to really grow a business and do business, contact me. I'm gonna start doing Zoom classes where showing you guys how to get yourself ranked on the internet. Uh, Show you guys how to get customers, how to talk to customers, how to upsell customers, like to get money, man. Because a lot of people, it's like people scared to say they get money, or people scared to say it's about money. Like, everything ain't about money, but we're not in this for shits and giggles. We in this to make money. I'm tired of people, being afraid. Being afraid that everybody want to show paint and show what they did to a car, and show interiors and show chemicals and show products and show equipment, but you ain't gonna see people show how many customers they got this week. I think they do that by showing, yo, this how many cars I did. I can show the most cars. Yeah, but we don't know when you did those cars. You could have done those cars last year. I don't know when you did those cars. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's cool. Some of y'all, I look at the stuff and I'm impressed, but I can go back. I mean, just look how many videos I got. I can go on my videos and take pictures in my videos and put that on a new wave, or throw that out there. You know, I got pictures for days. That don't mean that I'm bringing in customers. Uh, I mean, some people be using stock photos, photos they get off the internet, and put that out there like they did the car. Uh, but if you're not serious, don't waste anybody's time. I mean, you can still post your stuff on a new wave. It's cool, but it's about earning money and growing your business. The only way you're gonna grow your business is if you earn money. You need revenue to grow your business. I have my prices on both pages. I have my prices on Facebook, and I have my prices on on my website. Thought I already answered that question, but that's the thing, y'all. Again, don't be afraid, man. Raise them prices. If they're too low, and they're too low, you already know. They too low. You just, you making money. You content. You just rocking out like that. But You get done with the car and you be like, whew, man, I hope they give me a tip. And nope, you look at it, nope, exactly what you asked for, $35. And you looking down at it, you like, man. And then you put some gas in your car. You them vans 20-gallon tanks. Y'all spending at least 40, 50 on to fill your tank up. And just think about it, man. You only made $100 and you got to spend 40 to fill your tank up. I've talked to a few detailers and a few. Yeah, but you know, you go up to a detailer and ask them their prices, and they see that you're a detailer. They may not tell you their prices because they feel like you competition. You gotta do your research. You gotta go look at reputable places. Reputable places. Go look at like I said. Go look at the. Go look at. Go look at businesses that's in your area. Shops. That's a good way to gauge it. It doesn't have to be other mobile detailers. You can look at shops. Yeah. So, um, and the thing is that if you don't have anybody in your area that's doing it, and you don't have people to look at, you know, you can't look at some people may not have websites or have their prices listed. Then you're just gonna have to go for, you know, you're just gonna have to go for how much you want to make an hour. How much do you want to make? Then you gotta think about it first before you know how much you want to make. You gotta know how much you need, and then you gotta know how much you want to save, and then you gotta go from there. That's why I tell y'all, go in high end areas. Try your best to get into high end areas. When you advertise, try to advertise in high end areas. That's where you want to go, because those are the people that are not afraid when you say 200, 300. That they be like, okay, when can you do it? Okay, fine. When can you do it? Can you do it today? Hold on. Some of them will start peeling off money and be like, yeah, come on, I live right there. Come on. They give you the money before you start. Well, you know what? I gotta go in and feed the kids. Let me give you the money now. Give you the money before you even start on the car. Just in case I'm tied up when you're done, just leave the key in the car. You're gonna start seeing that. No, I've never had that problem. I've never had anybody mad dog me or none of that. I don't have that problem. Yeah. She had to pick up a spark plug. Yeah, it broke down. Okay, I see you, Sharon. Yeah, but that's the thing. And see, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like when I do, 4 or 5 cars in a week, and plus I still do. I'm still doing my lawns, but when I do all that and I make a certain amount, let's say I do 4 or 5 cars, I can out of those 4 or 5 cars I can make, you know, some uh, anywhere from like 800 to 1,500, and that ain't including the yards. You see what I'm saying? Uh, and I'm saying this to say, I'm just giving y'all a number. I'm just saying this to say, let's say my pressure washer broke down, right? Or let's say something broke down. Like, well, you know what? Let's not even talk about my pressure washer. Let's say my lawnmower break down. Because my pressure washer break down, I take it back, get a brand new, and I got it under warranty. But let's say my lawnmower break down. Like, I literally have enough money sitting around to go buy a brand new lawnmower if it comes to that. And when you run the business and you charging right, you want to be able to make that type of move. If the engine goes out, if the engine blows, I can like last year my engine blew. I had an engine in by the end of by the end of the next day. I had a new engine on that lawnmower. That's because I'm charging correctly. You're charging them little baby dollars, little pennies. Yeah, your lawnmower breakdown. Yeah, your lawnmower breakdown, and then it's $1,500 for a new engine. Yeah, you're gonna be pushing some yards, or you're gonna have to go borrow some my lawnmower, or you might have to tell your customers my lawnmower down, and I'll call you when it's back up. Might lose a couple of clients behind that. You see what I'm saying? So raise them prices, man. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? If you charging enough, you want to have that money right there to go get it. You got it in the bank account, or that job about that the job that you own will pay for it. That's what you want. That's what you want. If you charge it right, you would hate that you got to spend that money, but you will have it, and you'll make more money after the fact, and you won't even realize, you won't even miss, that couple of $100. Uh, but when you first started out, me, when I first started out, I just wanted to get started. I just wanted to get started. So I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about what if this breaks, what if that breaks. I didn't care. I just wanted to get started, and then just making mistakes and just moving forward. Going, making mistakes, trying to fix those mistakes as I go, and just kept moving forward. Sometimes I had to slow down, uh, and then over time I just said, man, I got to get more for this. Uh, I started to see that I was valuable. People was calling. Can you do this? Can you do that? Like I was valuable. And then what makes you really feel valuable when somebody thanks you and tips you and gives you a little pep rally. Gives you a pep rally on how good their vehicle is. Like, oh my God, thank you. You did such a wonderful job. This, and then in the back of my mind, I started to go. You know what? These people really value me. I'm valuable. That's when you feel that you have value. You can say I'm valuable. You can say that all day long if you want, but to actually feel valuable, feel it, and then know it, you will have no problem charging those prices. Exactly. Yep, that stuff gonna go out when you use. It's gonna go out when you use it daily. Exactly. It's gonna break down, and you want to be ready. You want to be ready to be able to take care of it when it does. That's the whole reason of raising your prices. You got to. You know, you got to. And another thing, I'm gonna tell you guys. Um, posting up, posting up in parking lots, like there's a difference. Okay, I would you know I would go to a parking lot, but I will always go in the community because see sometimes you can't go to you can't get into those gated communities, but the gated community that you want to be in is 2 miles up the road. It's a Walmart right here or a Home Depot, and that that's where they're going, and then you can take your own car and park in the parking lot and wash your own car so people can drive by and be like how much you charge so you can pass out flyers to by chance one of those people live in that neighborhood and now you in that neighborhood. I used to do that, but posting up at gas stations or posting up at places and like paying the person that owns the parking lot a few dollars, and then you're gonna park there and wash cars. Like I'm not with that at all. People, sometimes like if by chance if I'm at an office building or a hospital or somewhere doing somebody's car, I have people pull up. Oh, you be here all the time? and that pisses me off. I'll be like, nah, I'm mobile. I go to you. Like, I'm just doing it for my customer that's at work right now. But no, I don't be out here all the time. Um, you're gonna attract a lot of those $20, $25 type customers like that. You park at a parking lot or a gas station, and you just park there, and you're waiting on them to pull up. You're waiting on somebody to pull up and say how much, and then it just seems to me when somebody pulls up and say, I know they need to know how much, but when they lead off with that, it just feels like a negotiations about to start. Uh, um, I mean, to each his own. You guys do what you want, but me personally, I'm not. I don't agree with that. Uh, if you mobile, you be mobile. You go to the person. Don't post up in parking lots and have people pull up to you and you wash their cars, and that's when you're gonna. That's those are the 25, $10, $15, $30. That's the type of people you're gonna get. That's the type of people you're gonna get. Then they probably gonna rush you because they ain't got nowhere to sit. They ain't got nowhere to go, and it's gonna take some time. They're gonna rush you through the job. But been on here too long. Let me get out of here. Right. All right, y'all. I'm out, man. If you're not a member of the New Wave, go join. I'm about to get some sleep. I gotta get up in the morning. I got a busy day tomorrow. Uh, y'all keep posting y'all work and on the New Wave. You guys keep helping other people, answering questions, giving advice. We're at seven. We're over 700 now. We had last time I checked, we had like 712 members, 713 members, something like that. Trying to get to 800 before the end of November. I want to be at 1,000 before the year is over. Uh, so y'all help us get there. If you're not a member of the New Wave, go ahead and join now. New Wave by ANA Facebook group. Go to Facebook, go into search for it. I'm accepting everybody. Post your work, give advice, leave tips, do videos, whatever, man. I'm out. Shouts out to the New Wave. Peace.